All right, so good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to have you all on the platform this evening. And this is a session on vision. This is the vision session. And with us this evening, we have three of our mentors who will be making presentations on the topic vision. And the goal is we want to help you with visioning your business idea, your startup, in order that we offer solutions that will make us have a better world. And as the very first mentored session, we want to make a great impression by making, we want to make a great impression by making the session a lot of fun, but also challenging. So the mentors are going to speak to customers to validate that they have a problem. And then what are the other techniques to research customer problems? And then how do you identify viable customer problems to build a business? And how do you determine that you're uniquely qualified to pursue particular customer problems? So you're hearing customer. Yes, because your solutions are, meeting the pain points of customers. And so also the mentors will speak to how do you know if the customer problem is large enough to pursue. So this all help with your visioning, and what are the tools and techniques to keep track of industry trends and potential customers. So that's what we hope to achieve this evening, and the mentors will speak to these different topics based on experience garnered from running their different businesses. So you're all very welcome once again. My name is Ajuma Ataguba, Madam Ajuma, and I'm the Managing Director of Founder Institute. I come to Founder Institute from a background of business development, and I have certifications in social entrepreneurship from the Wharton School and Copenhagen Business School, and have been an entrepreneur trainer for so many years, and happy to be steering the course for startups, technology startups in Founder Institute. And on my team is with me, Mr. Shegun Bakeye, who is also a director of the Founder Institute, and Catherine Mbak, who is our program officer. And also we have our mentors, and just before they start presenting, we'll do their introductions. So the next item on our agenda will be working groups. The presidents of each working group will need to provide us with a report on their meeting. And thereafter, after that presentation, we'll have what is called the hot seat. For Dr. Adaju, who is just joining us for the first time on an FI program, what we call the hot seat is a pitch presentation. And we're going to select some of the founders randomly to make their pitches. So one will be provided, and we'll be putting the template up, and they have to follow that template to make their pitch. Why we call it a 1-minute pitch is we imagine a scenario where a founder, is maybe at a cocktail or just getting into a lift and meets a potential investor, that the startup or the founder must be able to describe their business in 1 minute. This is a way of getting the door open to enable further engagement with the potential investor. So within the Founder Institute, founders will learn how to pitch for 1 minute, 3 minutes, and also for 5 minutes. For the first 3 sessions, they'll be making presentations on their 1 minute pitches until they are able to master and get accustomed to pitch describing their businesses. And mentors are expected to rate them. We have provided the rating link. If your rating link is not readily available,
sorry, I think, okay, you're back on.
Yes, so the rating links will be provided to the mentors privately in case you don't have it readily available. And after the hot seat pitch, then we're going to have the mentor presentations, and they will present for 10 minutes each. Thereafter, the Q&A. We'll have the Q&A. So mentors, we're happy to have you here with us today, and we'll quickly listen to the hot seat pitches, and then we'll take your introductions. And by the way, mentors, the part of the assignment this week was for the founders to do a research and learn more about you. And so they already, have a grasp of your background, but then we'll still do that introduction just before you make your presentation. So welcome once again to take over and coordinate the working group meetings and then the hot seat. Thank you. You're welcome once again.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you for that. Founders, mentors, welcome to tonight's session. So we'll move straight to working group reports. This session is just for each working group president to, give us a brief of what transpired in this group during the week that went by. So you're expected to have submitted this report by email to Catherine, but be that as may, you're also expected to talk about it here. So I'll go this way. We have 9 working groups. I'll just pick one after the other. Start with Titans. Titans, Charles, are you there?
Yes, good evening, everybody. I stand on existing established protocols. My name is Charles Victor, the elected president of the Titans group. We actually formed the group immediately when the names were displayed. One of our members took it upon himself to create a WhatsApp group immediately and added every other person. And immediately, we elected a president, and fortunately, I was elected president. Now, the first thing we were able to do is to ask ourselves, what are we going to do to make sure that none is left out? And we then called upon ourselves, we then discussed and we agreed that what we should be doing is to have a relationship that goes beyond the Founders Institute established protocols, established plans, the normal meeting times, that in such a way that even outside of the group, outside of the Founders Institute, some of our members have been able to help each other to solve other problems that are not related to founding a business firm. Now, we told ourselves that we shall be meeting twice in a week, separate from that of Wednesday, which is compulsory for everybody. We'll be meeting on Tuesdays and on Thursdays by 7 p.m. However, we discovered that we meet outside of this time. Whenever any of our members have a challenge, he brings it up into the meeting and we discussed it. We've had few video conferences, and one of us actually left the group. It's no longer in the cohort as we are speaking, and we are encouraging one other of our members, and Aduni, to also be a part of it, because we call ourselves that even outside of the group. Now, we actually designed some certain strategies that will help us to succeed. And we told ourselves that any assignment that is given, we shall discuss it amongst ourselves. When we discover that somebody is not doing his assignment, we call upon the person to actually come on board and do the assignment. So probably you will discover that many of us are trying, although one of us is in an area that is not having network properly, that is M-Form, is where he is, network is very, very poor. But yet we are still encouraging him to be a part of the program. And in a nutshell, Titans, we are trying to be the Titans of this group, and hopefully none will be left out. Thank you very much.
Okay, great one there, Charles. You mentioned that somebody dropped out. Who is that person? And
yes, is it Suleiman or something, Saliu or something like that? I made the report. It's part of what I sent.
You sent down to Catherine. Okay, great.
Yes, and the reply came that he has officially been out. He's no longer out. In the...
Okay, great. Okay, Alphas, have you guys met? Alphas.
Yes, we've met several times.
No, not you. Titans, you're done. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Alpha, the Alpha working group. Are you ready? Have you guys met? And who is the team? Who is the president for the group?
Hello.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Adequate Olusegun, and I took up the challenge to be the president because how it happened is that after sending us the names, I discovered that a number of us were hesitant in picking up the leadership challenge. So I created a WhatsApp group for all of us, and I also created an email group for us, and then began to sensitize everybody towards what we needed to do. And so after about 3 days of discussing on the platform, I was nominated as the president, and everybody agreed. So we fixed our meeting time for Sunday evening, 6 p.m. And then the 6 p.m. Wednesday, we discovered that there's going to be a general meeting, but we are yet to fix another day. So we've been talking to each other on how I've sent a mail to the director about it, and then we've been talking to each other on how to move ourselves forward individually and how to move the group forward as a whole. I believe over the next few days, we're going to cohesively work together to actually shape on the group the way we ought to do. So that's what we've been able to do so far.
Okay, great one there, Shegun. Great one, taking up the role. That's good. We hope to see more from the Alphas. So the Dreamers, your report. Is Musa here? The Dreamers. Anyone else from the Dreamers here? Okay, I'll move on to the next. But Catherine, please help me look out for anyone from the Dreamers in the chat tonight. Champions. Musa Jibril, are you here? Musa? Is Musa here? Is there anyone from the Dreamers in the call tonight? Okay, well, I thought I saw Samson here now. Samson or Jetade, are you there? Are you not in the Dreamers? So are you not in the Dreamers?
Yes, I am.
So why did you keep quiet?
I think I wasn't actually listening very well earlier.
Okay, so I caught you there. So report on your team.
Yes, we have met twice. We've created a WhatsApp group as instructed. And like the other group reported, we also decided we were going to be meeting twice in a week. But we've met twice already over the course of the past 2 weeks or so. But I think the number of us, maybe the time we chose, because we were supposed to be meeting at about 8 p.m. in the night. So our first meeting, I think we were about 4 in numbers. Then I think we had one member that couldn't join us on time, but he was later added to the group. So we had the meeting with him on the second meeting, but we were supposed to have another meeting like 2 days ago, but a number of us seemed to be on the road or something. So it was just I and the president that was able to meet. So, but unfortunately, we couldn't discuss that much that night. So I think that's how far we've gone.
Okay, thank you. Champions.
Good. All right. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay.
No, sorry, I thought you were answering around.
Oh,
who is
hello?
doing the report for Champion? Oh, yeah, Paul.
All right. Sorry, where I am is actually not favorable, but I'll try my best. We've met virtually once, but would have several meetings over the week, like 2-3 times on a group. So we've created the group, and in our meetings, everybody were in attendance, and we've actually had the group president, and everybody is willing to work, and we're ready to deliver our bits. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Icons.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Rebecca. I'm the president of the Icon group. So we have created the WhatsApp group as instructed. We have also scheduled time for our weekly meeting. So we have 2 times weekly, Mondays and Wednesday. We are looking at scheduling Wednesday earlier because of the general meeting. Everyone on Icon is responding. One of our strategy is to ensure that we review after every section. We convert to review our learnings or address questions from every member after every section. We also take time to review our deliverables to find out if anyone is having some challenges in fulfilling their deliverables. And then we share ideas on how to ensure that everybody delivers on time. We also learn about each other's businesses and see areas of help where we can support one another. And then areas of people who have been through some other areas that another person is trying to overcome, areas of collaboration or improvements in everywhere. Above all, we encourage one another to ensure that all of us try to scale in this accelerator program and not drop off along the way in spite of running our businesses and other challenges. So basically, these are some feedbacks from the outcome groups. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Rebecca. Legends. I think I saw Mer somewhere here. Legends.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Okay, so Legends, our group consists of 5 members, and our businesses and interests are spread across renewable energy and IT. We also have met several. I think since we set up the platform, we've met every day that we have already proposed. So our meeting days are Tuesdays and Fridays. And initially, our meeting was focused on developing our strategies for how to meet and what to make of the program. I can report to say every member has been cooperating. So we meet via 2 platforms, via Zoom and WhatsApp. We've also taken a commitment within ourselves to be accountable to one another, and also where we notice people are falling behind, others should be able to provide that kind of support that is required. And also what we've done across these 15 weeks, one strategy that we've adopted is, although I'm the president, but we want to spread our leadership across. Everybody has weeks which they will lead the meetings, because I mean we come from different backgrounds and have different experiences. So over the next 15 weeks, we've broken down ourselves to lead in 3 different sessions, where, for instance, the vision session, the revenue model, and all these things, who have this kind of experiences, those weeks would actually lead their conversations. So generally, I do not, we've not experienced any challenge in terms of anybody not giving the support. And I think there's been a good cooperation amongst all team members. So I can report to say Levin's on track to learn and fully participate in this accelerator program. Thank you.
I like your confidence. Okay. Captains. Is James here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, sure.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So in Captains, we have created a group, a WhatsApp group. One of the members created a WhatsApp group. After that, we had our first meeting on Zoom, where I was elected as the group president. So we've done introductions among ourselves on what we do and the differences in our business. We know that. So yesterday by 9 p.m. we had another meeting on Zoom where we got updates on the assignments given to us. So some of the members were having issues, like I had a 1 hour plus call with one of the members that was confused on how to navigate the website. So I put her through everything, and I also told her that I'm willing to make out time if she'll be, since she stays close. I'm in Aba, she's in Port Harcourt. So she said if she goes for a program and comes back, that she may be coming to Aba, so I can help her more on the issues she's having in the business. Okay, so another update is that one of our group members, Sarah Atta, has not been consistent. So the phone number she used to register for the Founders Institute wasn't a WhatsApp line. So we called the number, we couldn't reach the number. We went to LinkedIn and I sent her a connection, she accepted, and I communicated to her. We got a WhatsApp line. We added her to the group. She did introductions, and since then we have not had anything from her. So I was to call her again and see, because she has not been in any of our meetings and she has not been active online. So I'll call her and see if she's facing any issues. Aside from that, we are doing very well. We are being the captain of the Founders Institute. Thank you.
I wish you well. Okay, Masters. Anyone from Masters, yeah?
Yes, good evening. I'm actually from Masters, but our group president is currently on the call now. I don't know why he's not speaking up.
Who is your group president?
Ezekiel Yako Adamu.
Okay. Ezekiel. Ezekiel. Ezekiel, you're not speaking up.
You should unmute. You should unmute himself.
You are muted. You are muted. Unmute yourself. I'm sure when he learns that, he will not listen. Ezekiel, unmute yourself. It's so funny when you think everyone is hearing you and no one is actually listening to you. It's so funny. Okay, Ezekiel. Ezekiel, no one is hearing you. You need to unmute yourself. Ezekiel.
Ezekiel,
okay.
you are on point, so come up and speak.
Okay, Christian, could you make the report for the group quickly?
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Christian, and I'm from the Masters group. Okay, after the weekly sessions last week, we were called upon to wait behind, and I was asked to reach out to the other team members so that we could quickly create a WhatsApp group and then communicate and review our deliverables. So I did that. I reached out to a couple of them. Some were not reachable that very day, but a few of them that I spoke to, about 3 of them, they told me that they won't be able to meet up with the sprint, and they are going to reach out to catering to be able to introduce our co-founders so that they can be able to participate fully in the program. So I don't know if they have actually reached out to catering yet. Then the other persons, I think I was able to reach out to only 2 other persons outside those first 3. And though we all were able to relate later on, and we created the WhatsApp group. We elected the group president in the person of Ezekiel Yako Adamu, and then we did our first report, which we sent to FI. We agreed that we're going to be having our meetings twice a week. The first one is on Tuesday, 7:30 to 8 p.m. And the second one is on Thursdays, same time of 7:30 to 8 p.m. Why we actually chose this is because we actually want to have a session where we can review our deliverables the day before the weekly sessions, and also look at the deliverables for the next session a day after, then set the ball rolling for achieving our sprints before the next weekly session. Then we're also using Google Meet and Zoom for our meetings. And then we had our first meeting yesterday. So we had only one meeting after the group formation. We had our first meeting yesterday, and we actually discussed each other's assignments and how we can be able to meet up with the assignment. Those that were not through with theirs, we have tried to assist them in their own, and then we also try to look at each other's businesses, what we're into, get to know ourselves better, and then see how we can assist in other areas to ensure that we're able to carry everybody along. So the meeting attendance yesterday wasn't really awesome, but the few persons that were around, we were able to achieve something. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And finally, the corporates. The corporates. It's Gospel around. The corporates.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, great.
Thank you. My name is Gospel Ofalagba. My team have met twice. The first report, I was in the first meeting, I was elected as the president of my team. In that meeting, we also set the ground rule to agree that we must find ways to see how best we can assist ourselves as team members and to bring our strengths in several areas together and see that our team succeeds, nationalizing the goals of FI as well as NCDMB. In that particular meeting, we were supposed to be 6, but we were 5. With apologies, one of the members was not free at that time because he was engaged with work at that time. We agreed in that meeting we're going to meet twice in a week, Tuesday from 7 to 8, then on Saturday 7:30 to 9 p.m. That was the agreement. And then with they don't to stick with that. Just apart from when the assignment was given, we didn't meet this yesterday because everybody was busy with the assignment, but we met on Saturday. We're supposed to meet again on Tuesday, so we should have had 3 meetings before today, but we've succeeded to have 2 meetings. On Saturday meetings, that was fine, although clarity as to signing the agreement or not signing the agreement was the major issue we discussed on Saturday. Some of my team members seem not to still understand if they could sign now or not. And we were told to say, okay, some of these issues will be clarified as we move on. One critical point we mentioned in that meeting is that you look at the agreement. If you still have time to look at the agreement, because the agreement says that 45 days before the end of the engagement with FI, if you want to also terminate, you have that room. So we agreed to say, if that is there and you are not too clear with things, it will not be too good to just take decisions, not knowing details of what you will miss if you don't do otherwise. So my team was able to go forward, and then we started the assignment just when we agreed on took that decision, I think, on Monday. On Monday, we were able to meet up with the assignment that was given to some of us. But one called me that same evening and said, she's not still too satisfied. I said, we'll get in touch with NCDMB as well as FI. Most especially, I will just state the issue there was mainly with the law for that is the governing law. The governing law, which was anchored on a different country, the Malawi or so. And said, since I don't know their law, how can I sign an agreement that says that I'm going to be backed by such law? It was fundamental, although, but that is a meeting, and that's the solution for what came up from our working group. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. On that, I will advise you to ensure you book office hours and really get to understand what the agreement is anyway. So, but it's good you're discussing it at your team, and I advise all other teams too. You know, if you need to discuss with yourself, share ideas, it's great. That's why you're coming together as teams. And if you also need to reach out to other teams to see what's happening there, please make sure you do. This sessions are real life sessions. You're going to be building your team. You're going to be building your company here. So every decision you make, you're right there live in the field. So I advise you to think properly and make your decisions. Thank you. So we'll move on to the next session, and that's where I'm going to select. We have 9 groups, so I'm thinking of selecting one person from each group randomly. And you have 1 minute. I went through a number of our pitches, and so some of us were really, you had the luxury of time. So I'm going to be selecting one person from each group. The Madlibs template is up there. Now, the MD spoke just now. She said, imagine yourself in a cocktail. Imagine yourself in a place where you have just 1 minute to sell your idea to an investor, a potential investor. Now, let's understand something about pitching. Pitching isn't for you to convince the investor to invest. Nobody is going to invest in your business just after a meeting. Nobody, except you have some miracle wand with, I don't know. But no one is going to invest in your business just after meeting you once. A pitch is meant for you to put your foot in the door. All you want to do is to stir up the interest of this investor and get this investor to say, here is my card. Let's have a chat tomorrow. So don't think you need to put everything in there. Don't think you need to describe, say everything. You have 1 minute. The name of your company, your defined offering, the people, your target market, the problem you're solving, and your secret sauce. Your secret sauce is that thing that makes you different. I mean, I want to sell sachet water. Everybody is selling sachet water around. So what makes mine different? What do I do differently? So I'm going to be calling out randomly. I'll repeat, randomly. So I hope we're all ready. Founders, give me a thumb up. Give me a thumbs up in your emoji if you're ready. Give me a thumbs up. I need to see everyone ready. Thumbs up in the chat box. Thumbs up in the chat box. I want to be sure everybody is ready. Thumbs up in the chat box. I need to see that you're ready. Okay, so I've gotten all I need. Akimbo, Akilabi, are you there? Akimbo, Akilabi.
Yes, I'm here.
Are you there? Okay, great. You have 1 minute and I'm timing you.
I wish I could carry my presentation on which.
Don't worry. Let's listen to you. Are you ready?
Yes, just
okay.
Okay. My company name is Luptel International. We are developing energy as a service using automated solar generation to mobile network infrastructures so that we can help them to increase network availability while also reducing the cost of operations. We are saving the environment as well so that the noise pollution and as well as the smoke pollution is reduced. Now, the secret sauce of our solution is that they don't have to tie down capital. It's not the capex expenditure for them. So they will only pay by use. So it's energy as a service. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Akimbo. You did that in 44 seconds, 45 seconds thereabout. I'm sorry, I was supposed to mention this to the mentors on board tonight. We'll be getting feedback from each of you. So there are 9 of them. I'll want to get one feedback. So that means each mentor will do feedback for 3 people, 3 founders. So and also mentors, even if you don't select, if you're not called on to give feedback on a particular founder, kindly just use the written links that has been sent to you. And then if you have a little chat, something you want to comment about that founder, you could put it in a chat box. So I noticed that Samuel was off. So I'm going to use, Nadia, you're smiling. Yes, you know I was going to say, I hope you heard all he said. Could you give us a feedback for him? A feedback for him, please.
I was actually also typing it in the score, so he'll get it in writing as well. Great that you're staying on time. I love that you have the value proposition for the solution very early on. I knew exactly what you were doing and why. You don't need to say our secret sauce is. That doesn't mean anything outside of FI, but you just need to say what it is right away. So instead of saying my name is so and so, you just say I'm hello, I'm so and so so and so. So you don't need to say the word secret sauce. You just mention what it is. And you had another 15 seconds to speak a little bit more about why your solution was unique. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you. So you got that feedback. Nadia could also do the rating link. Now we'll move on to the next founder. And who is that going to be? I've not seen her around, so I'm wondering. Oyeride Yoloye. I get that right? Oyeride. She's supposed to be, she's not in the room, right? No. And she's supposed to be from the alphas. So someone else from the alpha, pick up that responsibility.
That's a calling name.
Okay. Is Oyeka there?
That's nice.
Oyeka isn't there also. So I guess I'll have to fall back to the president. Adepoju, Shegun.
Yes.
Or do you have any of your team members in the call tonight?
I can't. Let me see. I know their names, but let me check the participant list and see if anyone of them is there.
None of them. So you know you've got a serious work to do. Lola Woshika isn't there.
Lola, okay.
I don't see any one of them there. Okay, so you do the pitch. Then you have to work on your team. You have to work on your team. So are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Your time starts now.
My name is Segun Adepoju. My company is Institute1 Renewable Concept, and we are rolling out renewable energy hubs, which are for charging commercial tricycles and mini cabs in Nigeria. We are solving this problem because commercial drivers and riders struggle to survive profitably in Nigeria. And we're using remote monitoring IoT system to enable split payment and power as a service. Thank you very much.
Thank you there. 52 seconds. That's great. Let's have feedback from Samuel. Sam.
Very poor visibility. That's my comments. Very, very poor visibility.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you, Samuel.
Yes, I think there's still a lot of work to be done. We talk about split payment. I already have split payment. I also had power as a service. But when you say you want to provide, is it for them to charge their phone or to charge an electric vehicle or cars? So I need to find out what is the renewable solution that is providing going to be doing. I need to look at that. Then if I get clear of that, how big is this market right now? Okay, if the market is not big enough, do you think, what's your strategy? Is it providing charger? Why there's no market for it? So those are to be clear. So, and what kind of solution are you providing? You also have to be clear. I think you need to do a lot of work about the market and the product you're developing.
Okay. Thank you very much, Samuel. What I tell most founders is when a mentor who is reviewing your idea is asking so much questions, it tells you something. You've not passed it through properly. So let your message be clear. Let that thing you're saying be clear. So we'll move on to the third and we'll get feedback. We'll get feedback from Segun Adaju, right? So the third founder we're taking tonight is George Amechi. George Amechi, you're on call tonight. George, is he in? Oh, he's not. Okay, George isn't in the call tonight. So let's have someone else from his group, the Dreamers.
Okay.
I think I saw someone. Okay, Samson.
My name is Samson.
Hold on there, Samson. Are you ready?
My company name is...
Oh yeah, go on.
Yes, I am.
Okay, go on then.
My company is SEC Innovations and Technologies, and we are developing Internet of Things solutions to help our customers live a smart and a better life.
Okay. You're done. Okay. I'm smiling, am I not? Okay.
No,
Dr. Adaju.
This
okay,
is
thank you so much. Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir, you can, sir.
All right. Thank you. Yes, something I think you still have a bit of work to do. So you talked about Internet of Things solutions. I don't know your defined audience. I don't know what better life you are offering them. I mean, what does it mean? What solution you're also offering? So you might need to do more specific work to define what you are offering. I mean, IoT solutions are several, okay? So it has to be defined to an audience and you are solving a problem. And then that will, create, the interest of an investor to say, let's have a second meeting. We know that not all the information can be passed in 1 minute, but however, you need to give the punchy information that will attract me to say, let's have a second meeting. So if I were an investor and we met on the elevator right now, I might not want to have a second meeting with you because not much information to attract my interest. So you need a bit more work, define straight, punchy points to attract a potential investor. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that. So we'll move on to the next person, and I'll call on Fatima. Fatima Zara, I know you're in the call tonight.
Good afternoon.
Okay, great.
My name is Fatima Zara. The name of my company is Beltag, and we are developing sustainable solutions to help lead a sustainable future. We're currently working on a carbon application that is going to help people in the city as well as industries track their carbon emission and then give them recommendations on ways they'll be able to reduce their carbon emission. For the individuals, we're developing web applications and mobile applications for them to use. And as for my industries, we are going to develop Internet of Things devices for them to be able to use to keep track of their carbon emissions. We have two major competitors, the AWorld app and the Carbon, but these two competitors are not giving recommendations, which sets us apart from them. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. Nice one there. Nadia, let's have your review on that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a good. I think this was a bit more than 1 minute. So make sure that you shorten it a little bit. You do speak fast. So if you're taking a lot of time and you're speaking fast, it means that some of the message needs to be cut out. You don't need to mention your competitors, for instance, but instead you need to tell us why you are providing a unique solution, something that is unique, and you are the best person to provide that solution. I love that you mentioned the B2B and the B2C product and the approach, but it might have been a little bit premature. You can just focus on your product and then say that we have a B2B and a B2C target in mind. And that will keep the investor interested to tell you, oh, so what was that? And then you'll get more time with them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. Okay, please, when is a comment for a particular founder, I would advise us all to, pick lessons from that comment. It will be helpful for us. So, Paul, is Paul there?
Yes, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let me get the clock setting for you. Okay, you ready? Your time starts now.
Yes.
I will be getting feedback from Samuel, please. Your time starts now.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Paul. I'm a co-founder to Africa Wealth Initiative. At African Wealth Initiative, we focus on the hunger and poverty problem in Africa, focusing on empowering smallholder farmers with tools and resources to improve their productivity while aggregating SMEs in the food value chain to improve access to markets. Our core offering to this segment is clean energy for irrigation and storage. The uniqueness of this energy solution is embedded in the positive climate effect of our solution and the byproducts created, which includes biochar for soil regeneration. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That was 3 minutes, 40 seconds. Okay, Samuel.
Yes. Oh, I think a little bit still need to be more clearer. You think you're providing clean energy and basically for storage and what again?
Irrigation.
So, for irrigation. So if you look at it, if we say storage, if we say irrigation is crop productions, you know, early stage. Then if you're looking at storage, it's more about access to preserving your goods in the market. That's so I don't know how you want. I see that it's too large gap. Okay. And you're not really saying what you're providing. So what do you mean by access to market? Is it through funding? Is it that you're going to help them with storage system, irrigation system, or what exactly? Or you're going to be aggregating crops? So the main objective is not really carved out here. So I can't really say this is what you're doing. But I think it's a little bit better. You can try to make it more systematic. One secret about this presentation is that anything you cannot explain in a smaller scale, it's a sign that you're not doing the right thing. So the more you are able to bring it out into smaller sentence, it means that what you're solving is problem. You know what you're clear about what you're trying to solve. So I'm not able to identify what you're solving. I'm not able to identify the market and all of that. So you really need to work on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, the next person on the hot seat, Ola Abraham. Ola Abraham. Is Ola in the room? We'll be getting feedback from Segun Adaju. Ola Abraham, are you? Let me check his in. Okay, we don't have Ola Abraham in this call. Yeah. So let's get, who else from the icons? I don't want to pick Rebecca because I know Rebecca is a co-founder there. Okay, who else do we pick?
Wood.
Or is Ola?
Wood.
Okay.
Okay. Wood is in that group. Okay, Wood.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
We'll be getting feedback from Segun Adaju. Your time starts now.
Okay. Thank you. I am Woodward Sonpierre, CEO and founder of Zev Automobile. We are building right now. We are an electric vehicle company. We are building right now our first electric SUV in Italy with one of the best design studios in the world to fight against air pollution, Akai transport, and CO2 emission, not just in Africa, but in the whole world. Our target market, we are targeting right now, not just in Africa, but in worldwide. We are targeting family, government, B2B, B2C car dealership with a market size of more than 100 billion people. Our competitive advantage. First, we are the first electric vehicle company to design a car specifically for the Black community and for Africa. We build a car that can meet the expectation of the road condition and temperature of Africa. And also we build a car that is.
Okay, so I've cut you off there. You went way out of 1 minute. You know, I gave you some seconds. So Segun Adaju, feedback for him.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so first thing is that timing, you need to try and work within the 1 minute and pass the necessary messages. So that's number one. Number two, yeah, I mean, electric vehicles. So I have an idea of what you're trying to do. But I think the reason, I mean, the target market for me is too wide, it's too large. You're talking of globally. It might be useful to start from, you know, a market. Okay, so if I were you, I would say maybe either Uganda or Nigeria market. I don't know where you're from. So I'll start from there and give a number of the potential customers that I'm, you know, targeting. I also like the idea that you're talking about Black community, but you have to talk about the problem you're solving. So you're talking about fighting CO2 emission. I'm not too sure for the target market that their primary problem is emission. So their problem might be saving costs of fueling their vehicles, and maybe getting a more efficient and less expensive source of charging those vehicles. But if you're talking of emission, that's for the world. I mean, business guys, the first reason they want to adopt your technology will be economic. They want to reduce their expenses. They want to make more income. Yes, so but it generates some interest, but you need more work to be able to define very strongly, quickly, within 1 minute, what you're trying to do. That would be my comment.
Thank you very much. So we'll move on. Let me pick someone now from, what group would that be? From the legend, Virginia. Virginia, I will be getting, why are all of the ladies falling on Nadia? I think I'm gonna turn this around. Virginia, you're pitching for 1 minute. I will get feedback from Samuel. Don't mind me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Virginia Alozie, founder of Savic Oil Limited. Savic Oil Limited is an oil and gas company, and we are planning to set up gas filling plants to serve homesteads and companies, institutions. The reason is that we want to be able to help the world to reduce carbon emissions that is causing problems in the system. And the use of gas will also reduce the incidence of felling of trees for charcoal and firewood. And I believe I'm well equipped to do this because I've had experience working with oil and gas companies. Thank you.
Thank you, Virginia. So we'll get feedback from Samuel.
Yes, I think it's straightforward. And she was building gas stations, so it's clear, the product is clear. She wants to service homes, she wants to service company. At least it's straightforward. Now, how to implement that in 1 minute pitch might not get that. And the only thing is the solution, the value she's bringing. She didn't emphasize. Instead of telling about carbon, green energy, and all of this, all those things are really, really good. But what is she really doing that will make the other guys leave the way they are using another? So the values that will make a product outstanding was not clear. And so, but the product is clear and the market is clear. Now, how she's able to penetrate and grow a market, that is missing. And that was also very important because we all know that gas station is something that is available everywhere. Maybe she wants to make it a mobile, maybe more access. You can even make a call and get to your home. So she needs to put that unique thing that makes it like a startup, that makes it like a technology, that makes it different for the usual thing, or make it cheaper. Maybe she have a model to make it even cheaper, make payment cheaper for people or something. So that is really missing, but at least the product is clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Samuel. So we'll move on to the next person, and I'm going to eat my words here because I had a lady pitching, and I switched it from Nadia to Samuel. Now I'm looking down my list, and the next person is still a lady. So please, I have no choice now. Stella, you'll be pitching for 1 minute and we'll be getting feedback from Nadia. I give up. I give up. Stella, are you here? Is Stella or Mabe on the call tonight? Stella Diamond, you need to rename yourself. Is she in? Okay, we won't waste time. I'll pick someone else from that group. Okay, group president, James.
Can we have Tony Yusuf instead?
Okay, you have Tony on that group. Let me see.
Not sure, but there's Tony,
they are not in the group.
These are women. Okay.
Okay, I think I have some. I have some gender issues I have to address here. So I surrender. Tony.
Yes.
Tony, You have 1 minute.
Tony Yusuf.
Tony Yusuf.
Okay. Yeah.
I know she's in the call tonight. Are you ready? I
Yes,
will get
I'm
feedback
here.
from Nadia. Okay, your 1 minute starts now.
Okay. My company, Marketers Energy and Energy Efficiency Limited, is providing reliable and affordable solar energy system, I'm so sorry. My company, Marketers Energy and Energy Efficiency Limited, is providing solar-powered household electricity for low middle income. I miss this. Do I have another chance?
One strike, just continue.
Okay. So my company, Marketers Energy and Energy Efficiency Limited, is providing solar-powered household electricity for families of 5 to 7 to meet their domestic electricity need with energy efficiency.
I've cut you off, Tony. I've cut you off. Now let's see what your potential investor in Nadia will say. Nadia, please feedback.
My dear friend, it's okay that sometimes we need to practice those pitches, and it's you know, with time it will come you'll even say it in your sleep. No worries. So don't stress about it. And then through the program itself, you'll find that you're iterating on the pitch and you're making wordsmithing, you know, changing the words, and it will come to you automatically after a while. One thing is that it was good that you had, you know, I understood at least from the first 10 seconds that there's affordable solar power for the household. And you wanted to define the customers. I think at some point you said the families, so that was a good start. I think we need to work a little bit more on the secret sauce and why especially you, Toyin, would be the best person to provide that kind of solution. But good try, and then I'll eager to hear it the next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we'll pick someone from the masters. Is Bashir Shehu in the house? I've not seen that. He's not in. Okay, so let's pick someone else from the masters. Dr. Bunakiye Japhet. Yeah, let's listen to you. Japhet Bunakiye. I will get feedback from Shegun Adaju. I see you in the house. Bunakiye. Okay, I think he's probably been cut off or something. Okay. I think it's been cut off. Yeah, Christian Efone.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. So your time starts now.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Christian, the founder of Effortprice Nigeria Limited. We're a company duly incorporated to do business in the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. And my company is developing a pipeline vandalism solution to help companies that make use of pipeline for transportation of petroleum products minimize their commercial losses, which could be in the form of oil spill and crude oils being stolen from vandalization points, and also reduce commercial losses from maintenance costs of repairing our pipelines that have been vandalized. We intend doing this by using an automated response system that is driven by artificial intelligence at its core, and also the Internet of Things. Now, what is unique about our product is that we are combining 3 different modules it's a 3-in-1 system. Unlike the regular single module system that's been in existence, we have the optical module, the CESPIC module, and also the perimeter of the laser module, and they work independently and interconnectively to give a more accurate report of what is happening in the field, regardless of where the device is being deployed. Now, we're currently working on our prototype, which we hope to wrap up in a couple of months from now, and then we'll proceed.
Okay, I've cut you off. I've cut you off. You're going way beyond 1 minute. Okay, Segun Adaju, response for feedback for him.
Yeah, thank you, Christian. Interesting, you know, I'm a clean energy advocate, but listening to you talking about oil and gas, interesting. Okay, so yes, you clearly define the solution that you're offering, and you also painted the picture of the problem that exists, you know, pipeline vandalization, and so many that you talked about that. You talked about the value you're trying to bring in to reduce commercial losses, and then how you want to do that, IoT. You also talked about the 3-in-1 system. So, I mean, as a potential investor, I probably want to meet you again to have further understanding. However, you need to also narrow down to a defined market. So if I were you, probably I would narrow down to a market. I mean, let me use Nigeria. Probably you say Niger Delta region of Nigeria, you know, and some of those problems that we're having in India. So I'll probably narrow down to one, we call it beachhead. I mean, so you know where I'm coming from, and then if it works in there, then globally. I also like the fact that you mentioned that you're developing a prototype, so we have an idea that you're working on something. So good effort, but it needs some further refining in terms of the target market, so that you can strictly define that audience that you're providing this to. I don't know if it's the oil and gas majors or the exploration companies that you're offering this to, or the government of Nigeria. I don't know who the audience is, but good job.
Okay.
Thank you very
much. Sir. Thank you for that feedback. Our mentors are available for officers, so you would really want to connect with them to get more. So we'll go to the last group, and I don't see your members around. So I'll call on the group president, Professor Godswill Fulagba. What's happening? I don't see most of your team people on the call tonight. Godswill.
Yes, I've been looking out for them. I was thinking they were there, but if I make a call, I think my network, because I'm even in a vehicle.
Don't worry. Don't worry about making a call. That means you have to make 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr.
Should I go now? Should I go on?
Yes, go on. Your time starts now.
Okay. My company, Renatix Engineering Solutions Limited, is developing a pressurized water-driven microturbine generator. Simply put, a generator that uses water as fuel to generate electricity. Because water is readily available and accessible, it has advantage in terms of cost, reliability, and efficient performance over other forms of renewable energy products like solar and wind energy systems. The market analysis in Nigeria also shows that 88 million persons is in need of power, which gives a total addressable market of 284 trillion naira, and 42 million MSMEs is in need of power also, which gives service addressable market of 133 trillion naira, and service obtainable market of 487 billion naira, thus making this product the best for investors and best to solve power challenges in Nigeria.
Thank you, Godswill. Honestly, you nearly convinced me to write a check right now. Thank God I don't have my checkbook around here. Nadia, you want to give him feedback?
Sure, I'll give him feedback. I wouldn't get my checkbook ready right away for one reason. I will ask, first of all, you want to tell me why you specifically will get this solution, and you're the best person to tackle the water problem and all that. And also, so the unique secret sauce, I think you want to emphasize it. And the market opportunity is, as much as I love talking about the market opportunity within a 1-minute pitch, but you don't have a lot of time to talk about all the different numbers that you gave me. So you probably threw in about 3-4 numbers, and you told me the name of the report at the beginning and the TAM and all that. Select the top number that will catch the person's attention. And that would be, I'm aiming for the solution to help those customers within the market TAM of this much, for instance. And then fill all that why you are uniquely positioned. Only you in Africa can solve that problem. So that would be my feedback. I think it's very well done, but it needs a bit more work. So I'm eager to hear it next time.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. You know, what actually attracted me there was water to fuel. I don't know, I'm not a tech guy, but all I just wanted, so all I need to do is just take a gallon of water and power my gen. I'm really interested. I really want to know about this. So thank you, guys. Now, founders, you might not be selected for, but believe me, each of you is going to have to pitch at one session or the other. I watched some pitch videos with your assignments, and I really wasn't impressed. Not so impressed. But some of you were okay. Some of you, you relaxed and you spent so much time. It's good you own your ideas. So you just have to speak it, say it as it flows. Thank you. We'll move on to the next session. And this is a very important session for all founders. This is when the mentors will pitch, or I said pitch, sorry. This is when the mentors will present. So this is more or less like the time you need to take your notes, papers. Each mentor will be speaking for 10 minutes each. Take your notes and jot down. We'll go in this order. Nadia will start, Shegun will be the second, then Samuel will close up. So if we're ready, Nadia, are you ready for your presentation?
Yes, so before that,
okay,
their profiles, just to do a recap so that the founders are familiar with their background. So Nadia, Dr. Nadia Albana, PhD, is a Senior Director of Product and Business Development at Alata Life Sciences. And she's an enthusiastic supporter of entrepreneurship, especially in the health, biotech, and education space. She has pivoted her career from a biomedical scientist, an assistant professor, to an innovation architect, strategic advisor, leader, and founder of her own consulting practice. Bridging science and business, she has 15 years of experience advancing and mobilizing innovations and partnerships, working with 20+ teams across the innovation ecosystem. Nadia holds a PhD from Dalhousie University and an MBA from the University of Toronto, and completed courses in organizational leadership. As a mentor and a speaker, she supports women in STEM entrepreneurship and professional development. So we're happy to have you, Nadia. So you have the floor.
Thank you. Very, very happy to have you and be part of this community and this kind of discussion. Some of you must wonder why my background would be eligible to speak to all you guys, the tech engineer, energy enthusiastic people. Industries can learn from each other. I'm definitely going to learn a lot from you as I speak with each of you and learn a lot from your intelligent minds, and also there's interesting networks across industries. Let me start by this. I prepared a few slides and I'm not going to use all of them. I'm not going to use much of them, but there are a few things when I myself think of missions and vision and it feels very corporate. It feels very, something that you put on the banner on the first page of a website, and all the big organizations have it, and it seems like it has to be there for show. But in fact, it's a very important. I find very important internal discussion that you have to have with yourself, with the founders, with the team, to make sure that it actually aligns with what you care about. So I'm not going to use all of this. I'm just going to point at particular slides here that I want to care for. So I'm just going to start by saying that the difference between mission and vision is very much in how you think about your mission. So they're all talking about your why. You have to present your why in a way that makes sense for people. I'm not sure if what you can see right now is the full screen or not. Can you see the slides? Hopefully you can. So if you can't, someone can interrupt me, please. So in a startup space, the mission is telling you what you want to do, how you want to make people's lives better, how you want to make their lives easier. So when we say, I want to give better quality to my, for a better quality, I think one of our founders mentioned we want to have a better, higher quality of life. Tell me how is it going to happen? What is your way of doing it? And that is kind of it's a higher level. When you put all those goals together, then that makes a little bit of a mission statement. And the mission statement really has three parts: purpose, value, and goals. You want to tell the people your purpose. You want to explain a little bit your value, and you want to highlight your goals. Some people in the other end, you have the vision, and the vision is very different, because vision is, how I want to see the world after I finish all of my goals, all of what I've done. I see that in 5 or 10 years, I want to see a world where, I can provide solar energy for houses. Every house is going to have affordable energy, right? So that there's a vision for the future. The vision for what your company the impact that your company will make, right? So, some people will have certain questions of like how your brand will be recognized, or what kind of growth you'll achieve, what markets you will conquer, but think of it like this is the impact, this is the effect that you will make in the world or in your market after you've finished all of you're not finished. Hopefully your company will stay even more than 5 or 10 years. But it's very aspirational, very ambitious. It could be something that you want to say it's achievable. So I pulled out some of the recommendations of like the 3 parts. It should be ambitious, but it also should be achievable, right? So when I say I want, these people, when they come out and say we want world peace as a vision, for you as a startup, you want to say, I want world peace, and I want people to be, something that's achievable, something that's practical. I want people to be able to, and then you use the impact that your company will make in their lives, right? Nothing that's those kind of 2 statements are things that that really should stay constant for the number of years that your company is at, and hopefully your companies will stay for hundreds and hundreds of years. But they really have to align with other parts of your own work. So I start with values, right, of your own company's values. What do you care about? And then the vision and the mission, those things that will not really change every, you might change them every 20 years for a vision, or you might change them your mission might change anywhere between 5 to 20 years. So you might have slight changes, but really they should stay constant. And then what you on a day-to-day basis work on, or on a year-to-year basis work on, is your goals or your tactics. That's what you actually you derive it from the values, the vision, the mission, and then you actually do something that is strategic, and you might change your actions, your tactics every year, every month, depending on how it's happening in the universe around you. I am going to give just show an example of the differences between those, because it's not necessarily evident. So for instance, I'm not sure if you can see this one here. Microsoft here says that its vision, it's the long-term impact after everything they've done works, is to empower people through great software anytime, any place, on any device. So it's very ambitious. At the same time, they're thinking of what impact they'll have on people. Whereas the mission could be a little bit more a little bit of a different take on your goals. So here the mission for Ford Motor Company is that we are a global family with, and you can see here global family, they're putting a little bit of values also in there, with proud heritage, passionately committed to provide personal mobility for people around the world. So they're thinking of personal mobility and how that will go forward. Those examples might not apply to you, right? But those might not necessarily apply to you, but it's good to have that. I'll have a, I don't know if people can share on the chat. What do you think these are? Are they missions or visions? And you can probably write in the chat. What's your best guess? Are these examples of missions or visions? I can't hear anything and I can't see any chat. Both? Nah, they're actually mission or vision. You have to select one. Your best guess. Okay, they're actually a mission, right? They want to affect people and on a day-to-day, whereas this one is vision, a world without Alzheimer's disease, or LinkedIn, create an economic opportunity for every member. They imagine that their effect is that after all what they've done is to have opportunities given for every member. I'll just say that it's sometimes very methodological, and this is my last slide. People really try to, maybe this slide is a little bit better in describing the differences. So in the vision, it could be something that's, very, what do you want to do to make a difference? So you say, making a difference in someone's life somehow. The mission is more of a specific, I don't know if this black thing is this black Zoom thing is also affecting the viewing. Good. Anyways, here. So the mission here, for instance, is more defined on what is your distinctive competence. That's something that you want to show. What are you providing? Who are you providing it to? And how are you providing it? So that's kind of, I think, a better, an example that I like to use when I'm trying to think of mission statements. And it's, as you see, it's something that's not exchangeable every year. You can't come next year and say, I'm going to change my mission, unless something drastic happens. But usually the company will have one mission that they stick with and one vision. And then everything else, the tactics, the strategy, that kind of can be modified with time. I'll close here and I'll say thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm eager to hear my colleagues also speak to this, because everyone will add a different perspective to the mission vision elements of companies. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nadia. That was great. Thank you so much. So we'll move on to the next mentor, Dr. Adaju.
All right, thank you. And I'll say, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Great. And I'll say a big thank you to Nadia. So you've laid the groundwork. So for me, no presentation, slides, but I'll just speak through and also share a bit of my experience. So there's always this mix up between mission and vision. And of course, I'm sure with the presentation by Nadia, we are beginning to see clearly how that's the differentiation and how we should take note of that. So for me, I've had a bit of experience in entrepreneurship. I got into this space in 2006, I think. So, over 15, 16 years running. Then I also did a pivot from banking. I was a core banker, and I moved into what I would call the base of the pyramid markets. So I'm interested in what happens at the base of the pyramid. It was after I read a book by Prahalad and Hamed that says fortune at the base of the pyramid. So if you're operating in that market, you need to read that book. So the first thing I got into was microfinance. So I left core banking to join the startup of a microfinance bank, the first in Nigeria. So what was the push? And I would let you know why I'm giving you this brief. There was this strong pull about the why, So as a founder, you should take a very close look at the why. Start with the why. I mean, why are you into this? Why are you doing this? Why are you in this business? Okay, so that begins to craft your vision and your mission, gradually. Why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing? It gives you, that nudge, that push, that motivation, right? So, and then it clearly starts to define your mission and your vision. So basically vision, they as defined already, and I mentioned what Nadia has said, they are more about what the organization aspires to be. Where do you aspire? What do you aspire to be? What do you want the world to know you for? For example, let me take some typical example. Netflix says they just want to entertain the world. And you and I will agree that Netflix is entertaining the world right now. I mean, they just want to entertain the world. That's their vision. Okay? How they do it, we'll come back to that, will be the mission statement. And, the likes of Nadia has also talked about in her slide, Nike, to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. Okay, so you think that the vision of Nike is to get all of us to start running? No, they said they want to bring inspiration and innovation. That's the vision. So if you see an athlete wearing a Nike at an Olympics, it's not the vision of the maker of that footwear is not basically maybe that athlete should run faster and Usain Bolt. No, it's inspiration and innovation. So they tie inspiration, for example, to the speed of a Usain Bolt. I don't know if Usain Bolt, is a brand to ambassador to Nike, but that's what they want to do. But many people think, oh, they just want to make comfortable shoes. Maybe you and I will say, oh, we want to make comfortable shoes so that when an athlete is running, he won't be hurt or injured. Nike says no. Inspiration and innovation. That's, Apple says they believe they are on the face of the earth to make great products. Apple, their visions that we believe we are on the face of the earth to make great products. And that's not changing. I mean, you agree with me? Any Apple product, that comes out just changes the game. Okay, so that's there. Not basically for you to be able to talk to the next person or to make send messages or no. Their vision is great product. So it shows you what we call the reason they tell. I mean, the reason why you are here. Okay, so when I got into the from microfinance to energy. So I'm an economist, a former banker, but I'm in the engineering space. And it was also, I started with the reason, with the why. And a few of you have mentioned that in your pitch. For example, say, why should we have over 100 million Nigerians don't have access to energy? Why? Why should that be? When we have abundant sun, why should we have, the 42 million SMEs mentioned by, I'm trying to get the name now. Okay, I think the man who wants to use water to power all of us, 42 million SMEs. 85% of them in Nigeria use this tiny generator that is polluting, that is, noisy, and is very expensive. And I say, why? Why should an SME? The first day I designed a solution for a barber shop was when I went to have a haircut, and there was a grid collapse at that period of time. So for 1 week, there was no grid. And unfortunately, at that time also, there was no fuel in Nigeria. Many people can't remember this. So if you have money, there was no liter of fuel anywhere in any filling station. So we're all in darkness for 1 week, except, you're lucky to have solar. So it was, while I was making that haircut, I was asking myself, why can't I generate power for this guy? Why can't I connect this guy to a cleaner alternative energy that is independent, that is reliable, that is cost effective? And that's how it came about the concept of the solar barbershop in Nigeria. We're the first to deploy that in Nigeria. It was starting with the why. And then we developed a vision. For example, the vision of my company initially, and vision can be very strong and decisive and almost unthinkable. So I think around 1956 or thereabout, Nike says they want to crush Adidas. I don't know how many of us remember that. Nike says their vision is to crush Adidas. It was like a competition. I mean, of course, they mellowed down. Today, the vision of, the vision of Adidas is to be the design leaders with a focus on getting the best out of the athletes with performance guaranteed products in the sprint market. So their vision is different now. But then it started that, look, we just want to crush Adidas. So when we started also, we thought our vision was, I mean, I just want to kill all these small generators, petrol generators. In Nigeria, we call them better pass. But my vision was to kill any generator I see. But today, we displace, our vision is to, power about 1 million beneficiaries out of the 100 million that are still using this polluting. So vision can be graphic. It's the reason why you wake up every morning to do what you want to do. Is a driver of, is a motivation also. So you as a founder, definitely you find a lot of hiccups. You may a lot of constraints and challenges along the way, but your vision drives you. Vision drives everything that you do, and it's the reason why you are in existence. So it's different from mission. Mission is, how are you going to do this? So now, I mean, I want to displace 1 million generators between now and year 2030. My vision. How am I going to do it? What is what defines my business goal and objectives? How am I going to reach these objectives of 1 million deployments of clean energy for SMEs? I mean, so define markets. Our focus is on SME. Our product is solar power for, I mean, with pay as you go. Many of you have talked about that here. To basically displace those generators and replace with something that's cost effective. We found out that 40% of expenditure of small businesses is on electricity, just to generate power for themselves. We found out that there are so many, almost half of harvest, post-harvest losses in Nigeria is almost 46%. Okay, and you're wondering why? Why should that be? And we found out that's basically because of lack of access to the adequate electricity, close to sites, to process what they harvest. So while vision is the reason, and a vision can change. Like I mentioned, Adidas, and Nike. Vision is like a mirage. If you're traveling in the hot afternoon from Lagos to, say, Ibadan, for example, you see like a pool of water far ahead of you. When you get close, it moves towards. That's what vision is like. It's like a mirage. Most time, vision might not be something you can actually even achieve, maybe your lifetime, right? But you set that overarching, goal and an objective that drives generations to come. Basically, I mean, the likes of who was driving the Martin Luther King of those ages, the Wright brothers. I mean, you could imagine what was driving them, and yet the vision they had is still alive, being driven by other people. Okay, but for mission, you have to be specific about how you are going to get this done. What technology are you going to deploy? How are you going to create the value to your end users? What is the value proposition? Like one of our mentors mentioned earlier, it has to be your mission statement must clearly define that. If there are resources you will need, briefly also, that can be captured in a mission statement. Basically, for me, once you get that right, the other job becomes easy. And as an entrepreneur, you are the brand, you are the driver of that vision. You carry that vision. In fact, you don't sleep because of that vision. I saw a group that said the dreamers, and we say, the dreams that we dream as an entrepreneur are the ones that keep us awake in the night, not the ones that we sleep to dream. your vision can be so large that you're unable to even sleep in the night, that all your mindset and your thoughts, your frame is around that vision. How am I going to drive this? And then you are in the forefront of driving it, because you are the #1 brand person to drive your vision. If you don't drive it, nobody will drive that vision after you. That's why even the issue of elevator pitch and in a minute, at times you don't have up to a minute. I mean, a guy is going to, you're meeting Vertiva Capital, one of the investors in Nigeria, or an infra credit, and the guy is going to second or third floor. It might not take a minute to get to the second or third floor, but you need to quickly tell who you are at that point to be able to get the next attention for him to call you in like 2 or 3 sentences. This is who I am. I run this company. This is what we do. This is why we do it. And this is the ultimate we want to achieve. And before you find out, I mean, if I tell you that, look, I want to create energy access to 100 million underserved Nigerians who live in the rural community and has never been, has never accessed any kind of power. I mean, I'm sure you want to hear how I'm going to do it the next time and what resources I need, and if you could also invest in that business. So yeah, I think it's a good start. We need to be able to define our vision and mission very clearly. If you like, make it graphic and let it draw attention of others to be able to get a second time to meet with them. I mean, and for example, like I said, Netflix, they want to entertain the world. Facebook says we want to give people the capacity to form communities and bring the globe closer together. You agree with me today that the world is closer together because of the likes of Facebook? That's the vision. Let me stop at this point. I'm sure I'll be able to take questions at the appropriate time. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much. I also forgot to add, founders, if you have questions, we have a Q&A session afterwards. You could also drop questions in the box. So we'll attend to it after this session. So we'll listen to the last mentor for tonight, Samuel. Samuel.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Good evening, moderator. Good evening, Mr. Shago, and good Dr. Shago, and good evening, Nigi, doctor also, and MD and everyone. The topic is a very good topic because it's also the first things you want to do when you're starting a business. You want to know what is the vision, what's the mission, what motivates you, and all of that. And the two earlier speakers have spoken well to differentiate between what vision is and what mission and vision and all of that. And I will talk a bit of that, but I'll focus more on how to scrap your vision and how to get a vision that can stick with you for as long as you want to build your company and all of that. So first and foremost, for me, what a vision is what you want to be in the future. Okay, and the easiest way to do it is that you need to be very you have to be very ambiguous. It has to be something very big, and even in defining it, it has to be obvious, something that because what you're going to achieve. Hello, can you hear me?
Go on, sir. Just go on.
Because what you want to achieve in the next 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, 20 years, shouldn't be something very small. It should be something very, very big. And that will show that you are actually a dreamer. You're actually someone who is beginning something very big. Okay. So, and the missions are the actionable points that will make you achieve your vision. Your visions are futuristic in nature, and they are ambiguous, and they should be inspirational. Something that can, because it's going to something that you have to be looking up to for as long as you're working. Okay, both your customer, both all the stakeholder. What is that thing they are looking up for? They are proud of achieving in future. That's going to keep their dream alive. That's going to keep driving them all along and all of that. Why the missions are the actionable point. What are your value? What are your goal? What are the things you need to do on day-to-day basis to be able to get to that vision that you're planning for? And another thing I want to talk about is how do you come about building a very strong vision is basically understanding the market that you want to operate. Because if you go to a particular environment and you say you want to provide cheap cars, and in that market, providing cheap cars for the whole community is not attractive. They want high speed, high moving vehicles, or they want the most expensive brand. Okay, there are some places you go in Qatar that everybody wants a very expensive, the most expensive vehicles, and some places they want high moving cars and all of that. So the first thing I would advise is, if you're trying to come up with a vision, it's coming up with vision requires a smaller team than a bigger team eventually, because you need to be able to integrate your vision with a team, with the market, with your investor and everything. It's a vision that when you hear it, an investor should love to invest in your company. Just literally hearing your vision, they should have, oh, why I want to be part of this great vision. I want to be part of this great vision. I want to create this kind of huge impact. I want to achieve this. I want to make the world the most cleanest world possible, free of carbon monoxide, energy. Those are big dreams. That should what's driving all the stakeholders. So the best way to go about it is starting, first of all, get a first earliest team that is possible that is starting the company to do a market research. Okay, what if you are just standing by just drafting vision without trying to integrate or relate with people that are going to be consuming this vision in terms of brand consumption? You might not be able to provide a very integrating vision. That is why every stakeholder, you must be able to get their input into it. So the first thing to do is to go into the market and be able to identify what you are really solving. And that's why I tell people, before you start thinking about your vision, you need to identify the problem and the solution that you are solving, and be able to come to a position where you know that this is actually what you want to build, and this is the impact you want to create, and identify what are the major gap in the industry, in the market. Is it that people are finding it difficult to access something? So are you creating accessibility for a very larger market? Or maybe some people will say, I want to provide affordable power to the whole world. But is that really a need? Is that what you're providing in the market? So it's always good to identify the problem, the solution, and see how you can carve out your vision from there. And the same thing, you need to understand that your team is going to be working in your company for, some of them will work like you are the CEO, you're going to be working there for the rest of your life. So what is that thing that is going to keep you awake all day? What is that impact that's going to make you want to stand every day when you read a vision, wherever you see the vision or hear about it? It's going to motivate you further to keep driving. So you need to be able to get all this vision. Then again, when you begin to grow into your bigger team, your vision will help you select your team, which lead me to mission. The good thing about mission is a day-to-day. Those are actionable points that makes you to be able to build a vision. And I'll tell you why this is very important when you're team building. If you want to build a technology, if you want to build a technology that is going to rule the world, or they're going to take over the most successful technology, or you want to build a new AI, even in your selection of your team, you need to begin to look at what kind of skill set do we need to achieve this. Then you are thinking about, you want to give, or you want to focus more on transparency, integrity as the value. Then even in your ethical values that you want to create within the company and all of that, that even at the point of your employing this team, it's also going to be a guideline to tell you that, oh, these are the kind of people. It's just like someone who start a company that is not profit company, but the team does not even believe in non-profit. So you need to be able to see how you build your vision, your mission, to be able to form your bigger team. And if you are able to do that, then you can be sure that every day when you put your vision on the wall, or you tell the customer across your vision and your mission, they always want to believe in you, because you see, because those are the things that, and it's going to drive even your timeline, it's going to drive your values, it's going to drive your services. If you are saying you are going to provide a technology that is simple, do you have all that resources that are going to do that? But it all starts from the simplest thing of building the team. Okay. So now, when you are able to build your team, then you need to begin to send a roadmap of your goal, your objective, in a smaller form that also narrow down to even your processes, your operations, your operational manual. So all of this, you see that it translates into everything you are doing. But that is why I could say on time is good to quickly be able to set up your vision and mission, so that becomes your guiding rule through what you're building, and you don't miss your point, because we see cases why the value or the vision of the company is clashing with personal vision or personal values of the employees or the team. So, but if you are on time, you're able to put all the structure in place, it becomes your guiding framework to your employment, setting up processes, setting your SOP, your marketing strategy. Your vision will determine the kind of marketing you have to do, and even the kind of spend you have to do, even your strategy. If your vision says that these are the kind of things you need to be, the rate you have to grow. If you say you want to be the fastest growing company in the next 10 years, then you need to need a lot of resources for that growth. So for me, I think as we are going into this venture, on time, we're just 2 founders, 3 founders, we can start having the roadmap of our vision and mission, even though it will end up involving a little while or to become a final one. But the earlier you begin to have your sketchy vision and mission, is going to help you form a strong team, a strong process early on time. And I will tell you, the only thing that keep people to work in a company is the cultural value. And the cultural value of every company is straight away coming out from the vision and mission. If your cultural value, the environment, the relationship, the communication style of a company, the general culture of a company is well drafted in a way that is fair enough and encourage a lot of fairness, and you can be sure that I ask people, why do you think somebody will leave a very high-paying job and want to come and work with you when you have nothing? The reason why they are coming to you is because they believe in your vision. They believe in your vision, they believe in what you're doing, and they believe in the value. They believe that you give them expected respect, especially they believe that the kind of experience they're going to have working in that team is going to be much more than working in the other team that even can pay them more. So at early stage, how do you begin to build your team to have a common vision? It's through having your vision, mission, your core value, your goal, and in a way that it's carrying along your entire stakeholders from your team that is doing the major work. The team has to be able to key first into the vision, the mission, your customer, which are the one that is going to be able to pay, then your stakeholder. I can tell you that there are some people, when they hear the vision of a company, they're not ready to invest in that company. Just by mentioning the vision, there are some people that will not even go into details of what you're doing. They just want to see your cultural value. They want to see your brand value, your perception about communication and all of these, and they take a decision so quickly and say, no, I don't want to be part of this. But sometimes when people see your vision, your mission, your communication style, your cultural, the culture of the company, and the way, the drive and the inner bond of the team and the way they believe in what they're building. Sometimes, even though if you're not sure of what they're building, but if you see that kind of radiation coming around the team, it could make you singularly want to invest in that company. And I something that I've done over and over. I said, when you have a company that have a good culture, that have a good vision, a good team, products can change, markets can change, things can change, but the cultures are difficult to change. The vision, the mission, the teams are difficult to change. Because you have a good people who have all the right attitude towards what they are building, it is easier to change the direction. They can build another business, they can go to another market. So that is why I think vision and mission is not a joke. It's something that we should take seriously and see how we can integrate it to everything that we do, even the way we employ, the way we engage with people. The earlier on time we start doing this, we start building great companies. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that great session. Mentors was a great one. I'm clapping my hands now for every mentor. Thank you so much. I'm sure the founders also had a great time discussing vision and mission. And you know, while that discussion was going on, I was just thinking in my head, and I looked at the vision for some of the companies we know, and you'd actually see that their operations and everything they do is actually tied to the vision of those companies, the way they work and everything. Take, for instance, look at LinkedIn. It says their vision is to create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. And their mission to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. So you just simply see why LinkedIn is targeted at professionals, you know. So that's it. So like Sam said, don't take this joking, don't take it as a joke. Your vision and your mission defines who you are, defines what your company is. It's a common thing in certain parts where you see someone set up a company, and the next thing is using the company for all sorts of things. So you go to a government contracting or procurement agent bid, and you see something like Shegun Petroleum Resources Limited, and you wonder, what are you doing here? It's all sorts. So please, if you don't define your vision and your mission, your company will be scattered in everywhere. So mentors, thank you so much. We'll move on to the last session, which is a Q&A session. I've told founders, if you have questions, you could drop them in the box. And by the way, my apologies. I was hoping that someone would give me power supply, so I'm waiting for this call to be over. My power just got cut off now, and the lamp I'm using isn't that bright. So my apologies, please. So please, somebody, I'm waiting for the water generator. I'm waiting for anything that would cut me off the public power supply. Please, I need somebody to do this for me. Please, I'll be your first customer. I'll be your first investor. Just cut me off. I don't want to mention names here. Just cut me off public supply. Nigerians know what I'm talking about. Just take me off there. I want to get back to renewable energy and solve my problem. And I'm sure every single person who has cut off their cameras now, probably they are going through the same thing. Okay, so questions. If you have questions for the mentors, just raise your hands with emoji. Raise your hands. I don't see any questions in the box, so I say first person, James, just hold on. Let's be sure. Okay, Best is there also. Any other person? So we know the number of questions we are taking. Okay, Virginia is also there. Who else? Who else? I'm going to be like an auctioneer right now. Going. We have 3, going, and gone. Okay.
Segun, I think there were some questions in the chat itself.
Okay, yeah,
if we scroll upwards, I think you might see a couple of questions.
Okay, I'll go through.
Paul had a question for Dr. Segun.
Okay. Okay, I see that. Okay, so I'll take the live questions first, then I'll scroll through and get all of those questions. So James, so mentors, how do we do it? Do you guys want all the questions reeled out and then you know, like lions, you tear them apart, or do you want them one after the other and you tear them apart one after the other? Which one? Which is it gonna be?
Let's answer one question at a time, because you might find that some answers are helpful for the following question.
Okay, great. So, okay, great. So, James, we'll start with you.
Okay. Thank you so much for the classes. I really learned a lot. So I've been struggling with my vision and mission. I've changed it like countless times. So I would like to tell you guys my vision and mission and get feedback from you guys on what you think about it. So my vision at Jambecom is to drive Africa's transition to renewable. And my mission is to provide clean energy.
You've been muted.
Okay, I was muted by the host.
Yes, office hours. That should go to office hours.
Yeah, that's true. So office hours, you can get the mentors. If everybody has to test their mission and vision statement, we would not leave here tonight. So, you know,
I just wanted to know if my mission statement is a vision, because it sounds like a vision to me. I just
office hours. Office hours.
Office hours. Book office hours. Okay.
Thank you.
Virginia, you're next. Virginia, you're next.
Thank you. I'm trying to unmute myself. Okay. Thank you. Yes. My first question is to the lady mentor. I had asked it online, but I guess I need to ask it now. Can you let us know if there has been a research to confirm that bioenergy from human waste and animal waste will not have harmful effects on humans in the future? And then to Dr. Segun Adaju, please, sir, would you be able to tell us if now bioenergy is can be commercialized in Nigeria now, and then is bioenergy likely to be cheaper than LPG? Thank you. Those are my questions.
So I'll start by this. By bioenergy, there's nothing in the world that has no disadvantages. I think if anyone tells you that there are no side effects to anything, that's always going to be everything is, there can be something too good to be true. Like there's no magical wand that will fix all of our problems. I haven't done any my research in this bioenergy specifically. Take on that question. I'd be happy to hear it from you, because your company will be tackling, I think, bioenergy in the future. So I think you have to have some answers and some, because I'm sure you're going to get that particular question asked to you. But in all honesty, like if someone, you know, even Panadol, even things that will help us like painkillers, they're also having side effects. You know, everything in the world has issues. So I don't believe in magical wands. But you know, if your company is using bioenergy in a way that is solving a problem, we usually think of benefits and cost-benefit analysis, right? So you say the benefit that I'm providing is better or higher than the cost that is happening in the alternative solution. So that's how I would approach it. Hopefully that supports your thinking as regarding to your question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, Dr. Adaju, she had another question, the second leg for you.
Okay, so I think if I heard right, you're talking about the possibility of biogas
This biogas
generation
can be commercialized now in Nigeria.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can point you to some biogas projects already that has been done in Nigeria. There's a mini grid not far at the outskirts of Abuja, I think around is it Gwagwalada also, that is powered by agricultural waste.
Yes.
Secondly, there are biodigesters already being installed in homes in Lagos as I speak to you. So I'm working with Lagos State government to create bio energy projects in all the abattoirs in Lagos. So there are commercially viable projects already done. There are some homes in Lagos already that they are generating gas for cooking from their human waste connected to their, I mean, what people think is what human waste, what's it called? Is this okay we call it? And producing blue flame gas for cooking. So yes, it's commercialized. And in terms of cost competitiveness, so there's what we call LCOE, levelized cost of electricity. So it's different from various technology. To be honest, Nigeria has excessive gas. I mean, some of them were flying away. To be very honest, the cost of electrifying Nigeria for cooking, gas should have the lowest LCOE. If we have all the infrastructure in place, if all the pipelines are not being vandalized, just like one of the pitches we had, gas should be cheaper than wind, solar, but it has its own challenges. So, so levelized cost of electricity, gas definitely cheaper. However, we know that the challenge of gas in Nigeria, gas would have been cheaper, but because of all the constraints. So Nigeria is better off exporting gas out of Nigeria to earn more currency than provide you and I LPG. Okay, it's more expensive now, right? So it should be cheaper with gas. However, due to so many constraints, biomass or biogas from waste today is commercially viable, even in Nigeria.
Thank you. So, Virginia, that answers your questions. Tony, Yusuf.
Okay, thank you, sir. So I have many questions, but I'll just ask one. Then this is for Dr. Nadia. I read through her bio, and I understand she's our plug to person for organization leadership. So the question I was going to ask is, are there particular organizational leadership style that that we need to adopt, or are there some factors that determine the kind of organizational leadership style that we adopt to have a successful business, to run a successful enterprise?
Toyin, it's a lovely question. I don't know if I can answer it in the session because there's a lot of background to that question. Organizational leadership really depends on the organization and then your own personal leadership methods. But let me link it to vision and mission, because then maybe it will be more closely linked to the topic of the discussion today. I think if you think of the vision and mission statements, these really need to come from your values. Like if I remember this pyramid, I'm originally Egyptian, so pyramids are very close to my heart. But you think of the values are really something that will drive your way of leadership, and your leadership will be kind of a the values will be derived from your own values, but also from your co-founder values, from your team's value, from your founding team values. And those will, the more you lead the discussion with your team to find the common values, to find what is the core thing that you are aiming for, that will make the translation into the vision and mission very cohesive. Whereas if you have a founder-only value, Only I as a founder and my company, my value is the most important value. Everyone else in the team's value not so important for me. What will happen is that you'll end up writing something on your own for your own company mission and vision, and you'll find that the team doesn't really understand or is not really aligned with what you're trying to do, because they have maybe different values. And a value is not something, it's not a bad word. Someone might be trying to get make a product to get to a market only to make some money. And that is the only thing they want to do. And that is the value, and that's a good value. Make money, you know, it's a good value to do. And the other, maybe your team is not really driven to that. Maybe your team is driven to helping people, even if that means we are not going to make money. What happens is that you're writing a vision, mission statement based on your values as a leader, but then the rest of the organization, the rest of the companies are thinking in a very different way. And so they see this writing on the wall and they say, it's just writing on the wall, who cares? What ends up happening is that their decision, the tactics, the actual actions that you're doing will drive the company to a different route than what you're planning, because the rest of your team doesn't share those values and vision, mission kind of statements in their heart. So that's kind of also depending on how you lead the company. We can talk more also offline. Thank you for the question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nadia.
Thank you. So
can I ask one more question, sir?
No. Listen, you guys have a lot to do with your assignments. Okay. I'll advise you to go rest now, book office hours. Best, I noticed your hand was up. I don't want to take your question because I'd already, closed it on that. But except you negotiate with Best right now, and because he had his hand up or it's down, so I want to confirm. Do you still have a question, or should I push your slot?
No, I do. I have questions. Yes.
Okay, great. So shoot.
Okay, thank you very much, Shegun, for this opportunity. Fantastic insights to all of the speakers. I just have some short questions for each of the speakers. Again, like Tony mentioned, from their background and what they presented. So quickly to Nadia, I found out that over the years, she's been involved in organizing companies. She's been involved in creating products and developing business opportunities also. So my question to Dr. Nadia is, how can a startup, probably at either the launch stage or the growth stage, how can they be better organized? I mean, looking at their vision and mission, because at that stage, there's a risk that they might want to do too much. So how does their vision and mission help them to stay organized at the stage that they are? So probably let me just quickly ask the other questions too. For Dr. Adaju, I've listened to Dr. Adaju speak at different fora. I've actually followed and admired him from afar. He's really doing a great job in the renewable energy space. He's instrumental to starting the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria. So I know he's really an expert in that direction. But when I studied his own vision, his vision is so concise, it's so clear, trying to displace 1 million generator in small businesses. But my question to him is, how do you stay focused, with that type of vision where good ideas keep coming within that space? Because as either a business owner, when you're trying to bring out a product, other good ideas also comes out. So how do you stay focused, with that? And then finally to Samuel, I just want to find out from him if there's some insights or tips to looking out for opportunities. I know right now we all have this hot seat pitch where this is what we want to do, but probably are we just saying this is what we want to do because either it's a common thing going around? How within even a problem, how do you spot a better opportunity within a problem that can bring more value to your company? Thank you very much for the opportunity to ask this question. Thank you.
I'll try to tackle your question as briefly as I can, but please feel free to connect with office hours, and there's a lot to unpack in this question. You mentioned early stage growth, but also growth startup. You mentioned how it's how you're linking your values to the organization. How do you keep that decision making, and how do you organize yourself? So that's a lot. There's a lot in there. So I'll make a commentary. Allow me, Dr. Met, to make a commentary, and then we can talk offline. I think it's nowadays very, as I said earlier, some people will have the exercise of going the vision, and then they keep it on the side, and they put it in the documents, the formal documents, and then they forget about it. But it's actually, think of it like a North Star. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. So as you go every day in your challenges, and I'm sure you have meetings maybe with your team once a week, and you talk about all the operations and all the challenges and who did we reach out in the market, and which customer are we trying to engage. It's also important to say, okay, wait a minute, what are we trying to do here? So it takes 30 seconds, maybe less than 30 seconds, to flash the slide if you're talking through a slide, or to say, let's remember our why. And you don't have to say the word vision, mission every week. It gets tiring to people. But at least, let's say once every quarter, you say, let me put it this way, once every week you say, what is our why? And the why is a bit of a mush, a mix up between the vision and mission, and you can make an easier statement that you can remind the team with. And that helps with organizing your thinking on, like, what are your goals, what are your tactics, what is the problem that you're trying to solve. You take it at a operational level. And then once every quarter, for instance, as you go through and revise what happened in the quarter, what problems do you come up with, maybe you're pivoting your market, what decisions are you trying to make. That is a point when you remind yourself and the team with the vision mission statements. And it takes 30 seconds to read it. But it keeps people in mind on saying, the vision is that we're going to help the energy problem for households. It kind of gives you some space to pivot, and it gives you some space to say, okay, if I can't deal with this customer, what kind of customer? If it's not a B2C approach, maybe I'll do a B2B approach. It's still within your same mission and vision. It's still within your same end goal or end vision. So it gives you a bit of relief that you remind yourself of the framework that you've placed, the goals that you're trying to achieve. We can talk more offline, but hopefully this is helpful for the time that being.
Thank you. I think there was something also for Dr. Adaju.
Okay, so I'll just briefly, say this, and thank you, Dr. Nadia. She's actually said the reason why, how I've stayed focused. She's just talked about it. So almost virtually every day, my vision, the vision of the organization runs in my head. And I remind myself, why? For example, I left banking as one of, I don't know how to mention this, at the peak of the career where many people thought I must have gone crazy to leave that kind of a paying job to go to try what I was going to do. So I remind myself every day, why did I do that? And I stay focused on that. So I particularly and specifically have remained focused on SMEs. So everything I want to do, and I have a lot of opportunities. Every day people bring opportunities to me, both in Nigeria and globally. And I look at it, is your technology, is it addressing the small business space? If it is, yes, we were in business. So we're deploying solar cooling freezers now for small businesses, those women that sell, drinks and the rest, or women that are selling frozen fish and the rest. So are they small businesses? If your technology aligns to my vision, then we're in business. If it doesn't, I move on. So I've tried to, but of course, definitely, in the nearest future, because vision also, changes after 10, 20 years. Of course, Dr. Nadia mentioned that to us. That could also happen. For example, I know one of us were talking about electric vehicles here. I've had, engagements with companies, particularly from Rwanda, about electric. They call it boda, motorcycles that are electric powered, on how we can bring them to Nigeria. So if it's also going to address that base of the pyramid, which I think it will, because I mean, you have so many Okadas all over the place, why are they burning for it? So if it addresses the target market of the vision of my company, then we align. If it doesn't, I move on. I mean, I've had opportunities to do other things, even contracting and dress, and I just walk away. That look, there's a bigger pie. We have not scratched the 100 million target market not assessed. I've not even hit my 1 million target yet. So I don't want any digression at this point or distractions. So I just stay focused. And every day, my vision and mission, they're all on my walls, my room, my office, even one side of my car. So I see it every time, and I stay focused. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think there was one bit of the question also for Sam. Samuel, there's a bit of the question for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So basically, for me, the way I found opportunity is a skill to identify opportunity. Okay, and you have to learn that. You can get 10 people in a room and they will see opportunity, they will not identify it, and maybe one person. It's actually a very good skill to learn. I tell people before you start building anything, before you won't start doing anything, you need to do a research. Understand the market that you're going, and find out what are the problems in those markets. What you are thinking or what you are thinking in your head, is it actually a problem? It is I call it the root problem. Is it what they cannot do with it? Is it something they can manage? You need to analyze the market and see that most of the time when you go into the market, almost all the time, what you think you are providing might not be what they need. You find out something totally different from what you want to do from that same market. So you need to identify the opportunity. That's the first thing. Then you need to test it. See, the earlier you begin to engage with your customer, the better you can build a greater product. People waste time and develop MPV, do a lot of things, waiting, without engaging with the customer. These are the people that are going to use the product. The earlier you start engaging with them, you're going to save a lot of money and you're going to be able to build a product that will meet people's needs. So for me, it's actually going to the market, doing a lot of research, engaging with the potential customer, trying to see what is their real problem, create something for them, get them to use it. See how they do it in a basic way, in a more simplified way, even though if it's not technology, try to be able to see that these people really have this problem and they are ready to pay for it. Not just that they are just going around to use the product because one person is using the product, say, oh, no. Are they using the product and they are willing to pay, not because they want to use it because it's free? No, it doesn't work that way. Because you have to think about it, that you have to capture value for yourself and for your company and for your investor. So when you see that, oh, people are using it and they're coming back in a smaller form, oh, I can improve it. What is the feedback? What is the common feedback they are giving me? Oh, I need to add this function. I need to do this. I am telling you, you will be able to be more successful to build a greater product. That's the way to identify opportunity. Really, sometimes opportunity doesn't just come in a full form. You need to engage with it, engage with the customer, and you'll be able to see it clearly that, oh, what you're providing is actually not maybe it's just financial issue, or maybe it's payment issue. It's not really about what you're providing. Maybe it's just logistic. Maybe it's just something totally different from where you're thinking. So that is why it's always good to engage with the market. And from there, you'll be able to identify the true problem and you'll be able to solve it.
Thank you. I'll be handing over to Lady A. But before I do that, we're closed for tonight. But before I do that, just one question I think will be very critical to everyone here. Someone dropped it. Of course, it says, can a vision be changed even after years of the company's operating? I think that's a yes. But this part of it is, what are the implications of changing your vision? That question is for Nadia. What are the implications of changing? So just quickly wrap that up, then we'll hand over to Lady A. If there are other questions, please book office hours. Nadia, what are the implications?
I'd love to hear from my co-panelists because I know they have a lot of experiences as well. If you're having a new vision and it's very, very different, so if a little bit of a change, that's fine. You go this way, that way, fine. You still have a company. You have to explain yourself, change of vision of your company to everyone in the team and to your investors and to your customers and to your everyone who's within your ecosystem, because by 20 years you've built an ecosystem around you. So you have to find a way to explain why you're now changing the vision in that kind of manner, even if it's a little bit of a shift. But if it's a huge change in vision, then you start a new company. When you have the new company with the new vision.
Okay, great. Dr. Adaju, any insight on that? Probably any industry experience of vision changing?
Yes, of course. I mean, there are test cases and case studies of visions, changing, but it's not something that happens in a short while. It takes a long time. Okay, so let me take a typical example. If I get to year 2030 now, then the vision of Concern Energy will have to change. Why? Because when we started, our focus was that we want to deploy and displace this number of generators by year 2030. And like I mentioned, it's like a mirage. So some 1 or 2 years to that time, we're already planning another big bang, another dent that we want to create, right? So over time, vision do change, but not as frequently. It can take 10, 20 years. You solve a problem and you find out that that problem is no longer existing. For example, somebody who set up an organization who set a vision of eradicating polio from Africa, for example. When polio is fully eradicated, you have to look at something else to eradicate. But it doesn't happen in the short or medium term. It happens in the long run. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Samuel, any insight from your end?
Basically, two things. First of all is that what's the reason for the change, and how do you communicate those changes? Like look at Dr. Shegu said, there are sometimes you might say you want 1 million, you have achieved that milestone, so you need to give another target. Those are good vision because it's easy to communicate. Oh, we have achieved our target, we need to move to the next. So communicating that is, and in fact, is an achievement. In fact, it's a progress that you can easily communicate in that manner. And sometimes it might just be that the part of the market you're serving you're no longer serving that market. You need to communicate the new market you're serving and all of that. And for me, changes is really not a big deal, but sometimes if it's totally changing, it might be complex. Okay, but if it's just within the same industry, within the same objective, things are not changing totally. Maybe you are producing pure water, you want to start producing something different. Obviously, you change. That's the company. You are changing the entire company in that case. But if maybe you find out that the value, your previous value, your vision are changing, maybe you are now more exposed that you could do things better. If you look at it, like Uber has changed its vision so many times. The same thing with Google, a lot of them have changed so many times because of the growth and because of the new product they are creating. Maybe initially they were narrowing to one product. Now they are servicing a lot of customers. They need to make their vision accommodate the new product. Those are things that can make completely change their vision. Now, another greater thing is that how do you communicate this to your team, and how do you communicate this to the customer in such a way that is now a positive impact than getting customer, oh, what is this? What is that? So communication of this change is always managing this change within our organization is also very key.
Thank you, sir. So I'll move on to Lydia. It's over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, so thank you, everyone. Thank you, mentors. It's been a great evening. A lot of learning has taken place, and founders, I hope you have learned a lot. And just to help you a little bit more, let me share. Yes, so there are more resources, and you need to look through the resources, and you can find these resources at on your dashboard. So here we have finding focus, a couple of questions, have arisen about, being focused, changing the vision and mission. So this is a good video to watch. Then examples, there are 27 examples of mission and vision statements. And there's some also templates here that can help you. And there are also 1,500 best company mission and vision statements by industry. So you look for the ones that are energy sector focused. And also your assignment this week, so as you craft your vision and mission, that's also an ideation process. So here are articles you also need to read that will help you regarding idea validation, and of course, customer development and development. So your solution needs to meet the pain points of a customer, and identifying your risk early on. So all of this, and how to test risk assumptions, all of these resources, I implore you to reach out and read them. So this week's assignment is going to take you about 9.5 hours to complete. So if I were you, 2 hours a day, that will work very, very well. So for those of you who were able to complete your sprints, congratulations. And those are the ones who have been admitted to the session. Because if you don't complete your sprints, you don't get to attend the session. So the reports from your working groups, we're pleased with that. Keep it up. And for those who, I think one group didn't have members here, please kindly reach out to your members. All of this session is being recorded. The slides will also be uploaded and recording to your dashboard, and you can access it. So even those who are not around, they will be able to access this the information we have shared. But like we said, Founder Institute is like the Navy SEAL of entrepreneurship. So it's a moving train, and a very, very fast moving train. So commit your time so that you can get the best out of it. The mentors, we are delighted and ever grateful to have this caliber of mentors, and they are here to help you. But you have to book office hours. So we're not in the business of, or our methodology is not that in which we will assign specific mentors to you. So like in your assignment this week, you were meant to research who the different mentors are that, are coming to make the presentation. So you reach out to them and engage. And this system is fully automated. So we begin to see, from the back end, we see the number of engagements you are having with mentors during office hours, and also office hours take place on the platform and not outside of the platform. So on the platform, it's all recorded and tracked to everyone, all the stakeholders. So I hope and also would like to encourage everyone to, just try and make the best of it and make the adjustments. Like I said, you are innovators, and innovators are disruptors. And so this program will also disrupt you a bit. So it's who can be disrupted that we believe can also disrupt an economy. So we wish you all very well, and do have a pleasant evening. And thank you once again, mentors. And I think Nadia has set up her office hours already. Dr. Adaju, I'm not sure you have done that, and Samuel, please do.
Yeah.
Okay, I will be happy. The founders will be happy to engage you ASAP. So do have a happy night rest. And I wish everyone all the best, and thank you for your usual support. And at Founder Institute, we're here to help you grow your business to become global brands. And it's always so exciting when towards the end we see much of the transformation that begins to happen. So thank you, and we look forward to your providing lights for Nigeria founders. So thank you and good night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. Bye. Thanks.
Good night.
Night.